I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you won't start looting, it's gonna happen. Before my kids go broke like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card, as soon as that ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the out. And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch up so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car. If you feeling motherfucking foggy, you ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking edition at that Walmart store. I'm telling you. You wanna take some link? Like I don't be taking already. Watch this. It's okay.
It's this new movement online amongst ghetto people that are basically saying that they're going to take to Walmart because, for those of you that may not know, Walmart is actually the largest grocer inside of the United States of America, in which they sell about 25% of all groceries. And now our ghetto boos are out here continuing to have children out of wedlock, continuing to depend on the federal government. And now they feel like it's the government's obligation to take care of them. And so what they have declared is that they are now going to start stealing from stores to make sure that they have enough food, and also to ensure that they get what they believe is due, because the federal government is warning people that the longer that the shutdown is going to go on, that they are going to have to start removing or preventing people from being able to get their SNAP benefits, because obviously we know that Democrats is continuing to hold up everything so that they can continue the Obamacare resolution that also allows for illegal migrants to get health care coverage via your hospital stays.
Shalom, shalom. First thing first, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, those who real well on how I learned this truth from. And salutation to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking your lives and freedoms to do so. Shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second exodus coming quickly by the hands of Lord Yahweh Shah. This your brother Akagabar, all right? And, as this government shutdown continues on, all right, they're warning that there will be no SNAP benefits in November, okay? And you see this video where she pretty much coming out and saying it outright. She gonna start stealing. You know what I'm saying? She gonna start having to take matters into her own hands and stealing from these grocery stores and shit. All right, because that vintage is about to fail, man. Okay, and ultimately I seen another clip, which I'd have to look more into it, but they're saying that local Walmarts are beginning to there's riots at local Walmarts due to the those SNAP benefits, man, that are about to end come November. All right, because this government, I believe it's coming on the fourth week. I'm gonna say fourth or fifth week, of being shut down. All right, and they're not going to be allocating funds for these specific things, man. Which I could see this playing right into Trump's hands. Okay, because we know that they've been deploying troops, all right, to particular states. All right, and if they allow for a food crisis, these people are not able to get EBT, and feed they babies and shit. They're gonna start stealing, man. They're gonna start rioting. They're gonna start looting. They're gonna start stealing, and that will play right into Trump's hands. All right, and locking this shit down, and whatnot because of the chaos, man. All right, I could see that playing out, but we gotta wait and see, how this thing pans out. Okay, but ultimately we warned you, these times, man. Matter of fact, let's jump into the scripture. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." See, so we're in them times, man. Okay, especially when you add on tariffs, and the different plagues the Lord is bringing upon this place, to where there's going to be a scarcity of food. Okay, scriptures speak about the vintage felon, man. meaning it's going to be very hard to get food. And, we've always said it. That's what's really going to get these people to bug out. That's really going to get these people to crash out, man. When they got access to food, when they can't go to daddy government, to put food on the table, well, what in the hell else you think they're gonna do, man? A lot of these people been sitting on their ass, now they talking about, they may have to work a certain amount of hours a week to qualify and shit. So they just gonna lose it. And you see Keisha in the video, she ready to lose it, man. All right. And, as it stands, like I said, these states are not expected to, get SNAP benefits and whatnot come November, man, which really that's what, a week or so away. So, yeah, man, if this thing continues on, all right, this government shutdown, they're engineering all hell to break loose. And then it makes sense because they already got, ICE, and ICE is already grabbing up black and brown people. So, they let this shit go on and people start rioting in chaos from the food, then what the hell you think is going to happen to these cities, man? They're going to start locking this shit down. All right, it says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation, man. And are we not in tribulous times right now? Okay, where it's hard for you to make ends meet, stretch your fucking dollar. Hey, that dollar is through, man. They about ready to let that shit go on ahead and collapse. That's why this government still shut down. They ain't got the funding, but yet they got money to send to Israel, and to fund these wars, but they don't have money to, to sustain their own people. And so people are fed up. That's why they had that No Kings protest this past weekend, man, which is not the first one they've done. So we're quite literally in them times, man. This thing goes on. This is just gonna be grounds for for chaos. You see, okay, let's grab this. Isaiah 31:1, because like the Anton brought out in this video, a lot of these black women have been dependent upon Big Daddy government, but Trump has shown you that the government is not with none of you people, man. Not even you people that voted for Trump. All right, you're all going to get fucked. You see that? Isaiah 31:1, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and then horsemen because they are very strong." Yeah, that's putting your trust in this man's system. Okay, the government, because Keisha, and these, especially a lot of these women have been able to take advantage of that, man. You get into a situation with your partner, they just call it, they'll call them boys on you, and instead of dealing with it internally, man. Well, we're in the times to where all of that is coming to an end, man. When all hell breaks loose and you got chaos on these streets, the government is not, the power is going to be in the hands of the military, man. Martial law. They're going to be dictating shit. All right, and ain't going to be no 911, law enforcement responding and coming to your aid. Okay, and this is why the Lord said to seek them early, man, because we're in them times, man. But it says, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. And that's the problem, man. Our people don't seek Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay, and that's why a lot of people are going to starve to death, all right, and suffer in these days ahead, man, which is what? Jacob's trouble, all right, great tribulation, all hell breaking loose, man. Okay. All right. It says, verse 2, "Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity," man. All right. And that's what's about to happen. The Lord, all right, is rising up against the house of evildoers, which is, you wicked ass people out there, man. The Lord is fed up. And it's funny, this is happening right ahead of yo punk ass holiday season, man. Thanksgiving, the Feast of Saturnalia, which is Christmas, all of that idolatry. You people ain't got the money for that shit, man. You people can't afford that shit, man. So that spirit of mirth, the Lord is taking it out of this place, man. All right, and in turn, he's bringing what? A spirit of despair, death. All right, troubles. bad times. Yeah, man, because our people don't seek the Lord. And we've been out there warning and warning and warning and warning. And now guess what? You see this shit popping off, man. Okay. All right. This is Isaiah 32. All right, Isaiah 32 and 2. And I'm going to jump around. Matter of fact, verse 1, it says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, which is Lord Yahweh Shah, and princes shall rule in judgment, which is the elect men. And the man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Yeah, the Lord is going to provide, all right, and sustain the men of the Lord in these times, man. He tells you, he can feed, if he can feed the birds and the fowls and whatnot, how much more so us? Okay. But we've been seeking him, man. For the rest of our people, they're not going to have that. They're not going to have that comfort in knowing that, man. Okay. And we may not know exactly how, but we know that the Lord is going to come through because his words are faithful and true, man. It says, yeah, and the man of the Lord is going to be that breath of fresh air in these times, man. And that's why we know Isaiah 4:1 is coming. A lot of these women are going to try to get in order, but a lot of them is going to be too late. And the Lord has got it set out for them to just be destroyed. All right. Verse 9, it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail and the gathering shall not come. Which that's going to come upon all the world, man. Everybody's going to feel the squeeze, but for a lot of you single mothers out there with children that rely heavily on the government, and you've allowed the government to take place of your man. Now it's all backfiring, man. And you're going to have to deal with it. You see that? All right. So, yeah, it says many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. OK, so the Lord, all right, is bringing a collapse to America, Babylon the Great. OK, and this is why, the gold is going up to, I believe, over $4,000. Right. Which in turn means the dollar is weakened. OK, they're about to pull it, man. They're about to pull the plug, and there was also a massive internet outage as well. Just showing you we're in very, dire times, man. They speak of a poly crisis, which is, multiple crises happening. OK, and, we as the elect, been seeking the Lord. He's going to come through and get us through these times. But for the rest of our people, especially you women, because, women make up majority of the nation. All right. A lot of you going to be asked out. All right. And these times, man, are going to really put the squeeze on people, man. All right. And that's why a lot of people going to run to that man for that chip to try to find a way out. And then the Lord going to destroy your ass, man. All right. But, I'm going to end it off there. Give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shah. Detail Wild Baba Ball. Shalom.